Yo, so Joe Soy, Joe Soy, hello, what's going on? What is going on? We here, man. We ain't going nowhere. We in there like booty hell. Hey, we in there like booty hell, baby. And guess what? They say we connected live on YouTube. Look at that. Look at that. I got some people to thank. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Let's start off with uh, thanking StreamYard for powering this entire situation. Thank you to YouTube for giving us a free platform to consume and create content. And like I said, I'm just excited to be here. We here now. We in here like Buddha. We in there like Buddha. We here now. As you see, that why y'all here. Quarterback trials. Russell Wilson versus everybody. I was playing with it a little bit, like I don't really want to put out no BS, man. And for the most part, um, like clickbait. You feel me? I say Russell Wilson versus Future. Man, don't nobody want to hear about that, man. We here to talk about football, talk about the man on and off the field, and um, like I say, just show love, man. We love Russell Wilson. I do. I've always loved him. I'm gonna get into the spiel, man, but let me read this. Teleprompter. I guess y'all might have told I was reading a teleprompter last time, but uh, let's get it going, man. We're gonna do this, and this, like I said, I because just cutting back on some of the research time. Obviously, I go back and edit and I go back and edit and place some stuff in it, but like for the most part, trying to be efficient, and we just trying right now. But really, I'm doing so. For the most part, this is what I got. I'm gonna keep doing this method until I'm able to employ and deploy someone. We got the comments wide open. Somebody let me know y'all here. If y'all check in, just come in and drop a little link, drop a little love. Hit the like button if you would like to, because we are live right now, and I just want to know who all in this house. All right. So let me read this teleprompter. We talking about quarterback Russell Wilson. Quarterback Russell Wilson. They call him the champion. The champion. They call him the champion of consistency. And I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree anymore. I couldn't agree anymore. All right. Let me speed that up though, buddy. All right, Russell Wilson. So from the suburbs of Richmond, Virginia, a young Russ dreamed big. While others around him were up to no good, Russell Wilson chose a different path. He wasn't the tallest, he wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the most sought after athlete in his early years, but he possessed qualities that outweighed physical measurements: consistency, accountability, and reliability. An unshakable enthusiasm, as we've seen with those commercials with the Subway. This story isn't just about Russ, it's about the resilience of athletes from his region who defied expectations and proved that greatness isn't confined to hype or rankings. I said hype or rankings. We're going to talk about that hype right now. So for Virginia, and much like the Mid Atlantic and the DMV, it has produced its fair share of dual sport athletes. But unlike Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Texas, where talent is discovered early, celebrated loudly, betting on games in little league and high school games, Virginia athletes often find themselves overlooked. And that element in the little league and the betting on games from the community, that element is there. Heard stories from the Aaron Brooks, and we'll get into that. But that journey in the spotlight is paved with grit, determination, and ability to thrive under pressure. Athletes like Allen Iverson, another product of Virginia, he embodied this spirit. We know him from his basketball impact. Iverson was also a football star in high school. Despite going through adversity, he carried a chip on his shoulder and a fire in his heart, ultimately becoming an NBA legend. Then there's Aaron Brooks and Michael Vick, cousins, a Newport News native. Though Michael Vick was primarily a football player, he showcased athletic versatility early in his life, and honestly, he could play any sport and probably be the best at it. And if he's on the basketball court, he'd be the best on the basketball court, baseball field, soccer field, hell, lacrosse. It doesn't matter. Michael Vick would probably be the best athlete. We hear about Russell Wilson, though. So growing up in Richmond, Russ was a quiet storm. At collegiate school, he went hard on the football field, racking up passing yards and touchdowns with pure magic and precision. Yet football was only half the story. Wilson excelled on the baseball diamond as well, earning All-State honors as a second baseman. But unlike heavily recruited athletes who dominate national headlines, Rush's stature, standing just under 6 feet, kept him under the radar. And this is why he's the number two, the second episode, because of this right here. Russ wasn't discouraged. In fact, being overlooked fueled him into becoming dangerous. Get the pun? So at the Manning Passing Academy, he absorbed knowledge from greats like Peyton and Eli and a host of other quarterbacks just to refine their skills. And while he was there, he proved that size wasn't a barrier to success because he excelled and was amongst the top selection for the MVP at those passing camps. But so Wilson's transition to college exemplifies his consistency and accountability. Though NC State wasn't the flashiest program, he seized the opportunity. Throwing for 8,545 yards, 75 touchdowns in 3 seasons, also balancing baseball at a collegiate level, where he also shown just under 300 batting average at 282. It wasn't an easy feat, but Wilson's relentless work ethic and enthusiasm made the impossible look routine. And we know how that routine is when it comes to baseball. We talked about it with James. Wilson transferred to University of Wisconsin, and a lot of skeptics doubted his ability to adapt to a new team and a system. Yet, in a true superhero fashion, he led the Badgers to a Big Ten championship and a Rose Bowl berth, breaking NCAA records for efficiency along the way. He was a lesson in adaptability and the power of persistence. So Rush's journey mirrors that of like those many Virginia athletes earlier on, as well as other athletes from Virginia who weren't highly recruited and persevered. Like Larry Fitzgerald, he traveled and trained extensively throughout Virginia during high school summers. Though not a dual sport athlete, Larry wasn't the most sought after recruit that people don't know. But he became one of the NFL's most reliable receivers and building a career consistency and professionalism, and having a career percentage of record low drops. The man probably got more touchdowns than he got drops in his whole career. So like Bubba Watson, a professional golfer nearby from Baghdad, Florida, embodied the choose your own path ethos. Golf might seem a far cry from football or baseball, but Watson's unorthodox style, driven by passion and creativity rather than conventional technique, resonates with Wilson's journey. Both athletes succeeded not because they fit the mold, but because they shattered it. Man, Bubba, that dude. The media often fixates on raw potential, measurable statistics, but Wilson has shown that intangibles matter more. His NFL career, starting with the Seattle Seahawks, has been defined by precision and clutch performances. As a rookie, he won a starting job despite being overshadowed by Matt Flynn. And Tavares Jackson was on that. They had to figure out who to cut to. And Matt Flynn was a highly paid free agent. Wilson's consistency, accountability, and enthusiasm inspired his teammates, leading to a Super Bowl victory in just his second year. The Seahawks definitely was a part of that time. They had that famed Legion of Boom defense. And it often overshadowed Wilson, which we will speak on. But true observers of the game recognize his role as a stabilizing force. His preparation, his football IQ, and his ability to perform under pressure were vital to the team's success. Like others who overlooked athletes from his region, Wilson didn't need the spotlight to shine. That's beautiful. Wilson's story connects him to a lineage of athletes who transcended expectations. Like Jackie Robinson, the barrier-breaking baseball icon, was also a multi-sport star who faced immense adversity. Though from Georgia, Jackie Robinson's struggle and triumphs reflect Wilson's ability to thrive despite being underestimated. Both men used consistency, accountability, enthusiasm as their guiding principles. Similarly, talk about him. I'm not sure which episode this guy will be, but similarly, Kyler Murray, though from Texas, he embodies Wilson's dual sport brilliance. Murray too chose football despite being drafted high in the MLB draft. Both athletes proved that passion and focus could guide them to greatness. regardless of outside doubters. If there's one word that defines Wilson, it's reliability. In an era where distractions abound, remember I said I was going to make this future versus future, right? In an era where distractions abound and athletes face intense scrutiny, Wilson remains steadfast. He's not just a leader on the field, he's a role model off it. His philanthropic efforts, including his visits to children's hospitals and his Why Not You Foundation, highlights his commitment inspiring others. You know, they just had the make your cleat for your foundation game. I had to see what type of cleats Russ had, if he had any cleats on this game. This reliability isn't just about showing up, it's about setting the standard. Wilson's film study, his off-season preparation, and his ability to rally his teammates are hallmarks of a professional who understands that greatness is built in the margins. Throughout his career, Wilson's enthusiasm has been contagious, whether it's his famous Go Hawks sign-off, or his Go Hawks sign-off, or his unrelenting positivity in press conferences. He embodies the spirit of teammates who lifts others up. This enthusiasm doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means confronting them with determination and optimism. Russell Wilson's story is one of perseverance, accountability, and the pursuit of excellence. He's not just an athlete. He's a blueprint for how to navigate life's challenges with grace and purpose. Like the unsung athletes from his region who defied the odds, Vic, Larry, Wilson's legacy will be defined by not hype, but his unwavering commitment to his values. His journey is just a reminder that greatness isn't about where you start, it's about where you finish and how many lives you touch along the way. In Wilson's hand, the ball isn't just a tool for victory. It's a symbol of hope, reliability, and the power of staying true to oneself. As we reflect on Wilson's inspiring journey, it's clear that his greatest gift isn't just his athletic talent. It's his ability to lead by example. To Russell and his team, here's a challenge. Double down on your legacy, and by empowering the next generation to see beyond limitations, possessions, or circumstances. Create a platform, a social movement, where kids can learn that success isn't about what you lack, but how you use what you have. Imagine mentorship programs that pair young athletes with role models who teach the value of consistency, reliability, and accountability. Build spaces where kids are celebrated not for their material possessions or accolades, but for their effort, determination, and enthusiasm. Let your story remind every child that dreams are valid no matter where they start. The world needs more champions like you, Russ, on and off the field. If you're ready to lead this chain, let's ride. I don't know. I tried to finish it with the let's ride. I don't know if I killed it or not. But yeah, man, shout out to ChatGPT, man. We rolling, like I said. I just used them to give me some quick work so I don't have to do all the research work. Because like I said, I would rather employ someone to do that. So that is free work, just like this platform, like we're using. We're using the free version of StreamYard. And then, like I said, YouTube is free. We're going to be providing these different episodes, also having more shows on the channel. We do have the Generational Diversity show on there. We're doing the quarterback trial show at the moment. We're going to be presenting some You Too Old for That shows, and also have some ministry, some spiritual work, and just some live motivation, live scripture and books. So keep on the lookout for that. Like I said, shout out to StreamYard, shout out to YouTube. Let's just jump in it, bro. Russell Wilson. Like we stated earlier, man, it's really funny how I'm gonna just start there with the corny thing, bro. How you call somebody corny? That's really a professional that's defied the odds, that's been able to grab one of the hottest and, you know, where I grew up, they say bad, you know, one of the baddest, you know, I say hot as far as artist wise, but we grew up on Ciara. So she's it. And he got that. I don't think no corny man getting no Ciara. and I'm sure others have said this before, but honestly, man, like we just spoke about, Russ is an example to a lot of men, not just quarterbacks and football players and teams and stuff like that. Real men, observers, value people that value people that value directness and professionalism and gratitude and love. People understand what it is. They understand what it is. So let's start at the beginning. I first found out about Russ at NC State. Russ graduated high school 2007. I graduated 2008. So in that case, I was going to my camps doing my thing. And he was in Virginia, so I didn't really travel up that way. So I didn't really have too much of a background on Russ. And then, like we stated, he wasn't highly recruited. And I mean, for me, I was highly recruited and had opportunities just based off of the talent that was around me and around my town, and what my coach garnered. So didn't see him around, but I would say once he got to NC State and I was able to catch the games after, playing Friday nights or even while I'm at my college at the time. Once I got to college, him playing and starting, I'm watching the games after my games and stuff like that. So I didn't really get to know him until then, and I'm looking at him like, damn, he's my height. Okay, he got a more stockier build, but he's my height. I'm 180 at the time, 185. He's 200, 5'11, 205, 5'11 at the time. I'm like, okay, damn, he's getting that ball out of there. I say, man, he's pretty good. But to be completely honest, we hadn't seen anybody that didn't have the dual threat aspect of the game. And I'm not saying that Russ ain't a dual threat quarterback. Well, I am saying that. Russ isn't a dual threat quarterback. Yeah, Russ isn't a dual threat quarterback. He just has good. I'm saying he just has good feet. He has good feet. He's quick. He has good speed on him. But his main objective, Russ's main objective, has always been a quarterback. And just off the way the style of play that he has and what I've seen him do like I said, just growing up, I'm not even talking about as of late or even in the NFL yet, but just in college. We recognize as quarterbacks, we recognize what teachings of camps that you've been to where it's like, okay, yeah, he's practicing these things and he's got good feet, his eyes are there, his shoulders are open, and, he's following through, he's looking off the safety, he's moving that person right there. It's like these are good qualities for any quarterback, not just 6'2" and above quarterbacks. Not just 6'2" and above quarterbacks. And, like I said, I show love, and that's what this is about. We showing love and admiration. I didn't feel like he was competition to me. I'm my biggest competition, but obviously I've competed in a competition setting amongst other quarterbacks, but I want to see him shine. So I'm like, man, he's at NC State. He's on TV at this time, and it's the ACC. ACC was still like it was phasing out to the. I don't want to talk bad about the ACC, man, because that's like, man, yeah. They were phasing out of the dominance. Like they were out of the dominance, but like we were still seeing trickles of Virginia Techs and Virginias and NC States and Louisville. Okay, you know what I mean? Louisville was holding it down for the ACC at the time, and I think they might have been in the damn Big 12, Big 10 at the time, or something like that. Might be. But anyway, I'm looking at the measurables that he can control. He can control throwing it to the right read. He can control looking off that safety or that backer. He can control going to an NC State going to a pro-style offense, being efficient, not turning the ball over, and beating out highly recruited quarterbacks at his stature. It's hard to deny talent. It's hard to deny hard work. And that's what it seemed like his coaches realized. Like, yeah, I mean, it'd be great to have a 6'4" quarterback. I'm a 5'11" quarterback, and I glaze over tall, young quarterbacks now. I glaze over them just like all the older guys and coaches glazed over them when I was growing up. So I get how, any coach would just be keen to doing the norm, so to say. But that's good stuff. Sorry for the slurps. I got the polo on my body. Swear. So I ain't wear polo in a minute, man. I ain't wear polo in a minute. I got the polo on my body. All right, that warms me up. But yeah, so for him to have beaten out those top recruits, and I think Mike Glennon, is it Mike or was it his brother? But anyway, one of the Glennons, the one that went and played for Tampa Bay, I think it was Mike Glennon. He came out of NC State. That man's tall as ever. And I'm pretty sure he had to wait his turn. So with that being said, it was the writings was already on the wall for him to be able to be successful in the league because he's playing against top talent in the ACC. He's at a good school in NC State, and he's playing baseball as well. And we've all known dual sport athletes have success in the professional sports. That's even when you go to the guys that are top in the MLB. You see them being top basketball players, top football players, quarterbacks that say, nah, I kind of don't want to get blindside sack. Let me just throw 12 games, 20 games a year, play it every 3 days, and just rack up, just a couple million every time I get on the mound. And that's okay. And there's nothing against those people, but that's what Russ was a second baseman, and he had a bat. And like we talked with Jameis, okay, let's go a little. We talked with Jameis, and I don't want to repeat everything. Y'all can go back and watch the video. But ultimately, the time away from class when you're a football athlete is one thing. It's manageable. You have a lot of more resources. There's a lot of students on the football team. So it's a lot of support for these students. Baseball team is a lot smaller, but yet it is demanding outside of the classroom much more. And you have less of the resources and not saying you don't share resources with the athletic department, but just the physical time being there. Now we're talking about quarterbacks though, in which we've already regarded them as the leaders of the team. And in my case, I say, hey, they're the leaders in their communities as well, even after playing the sport. But being a quarterback, you're saying the CEO of football team, and then he has a whole nother job or organization he works for as being a baseball player, but yet he's still dominant and successful. Why wouldn't we expect for him to go into the next level and do the same thing? So fast forward to him transferring to Wisconsin, and I'm thinking, wow, like, how did he do that? Now, I remember while I was in high school, Tashard Choice, running back from the Dallas Cowboys and Georgia Tech and Oklahoma University of Oklahoma, he went to my high school at Lovejoy, and I remember him being at Oklahoma. I mean, highly recruited. He chose Oklahoma. I think when Coach Stoops was coach, and I think Jason White was the quarterback. I believe so. But Tashard went out there his first year and did well. And I'm not sure how or what, but Adrian Peterson came along and he went to Georgia Tech. Tashard ended up transferring to Georgia Tech. This is before the portal, 2004, 2005, 2006. Tashard goes to Georgia Tech because it's Adrian Peterson. Like, I don't have a running back trials. Lead that to the jiu-jitsu. I have a running back show, but it's Adrian Peterson. I ain't about to sit behind Adrian Peterson. When he came in after me, he's already taken my job. Yeah, let me go ahead and get out of it. This is before the transfer portal. And Dog went to an ACC school, Tashard did, and was able to play immediately. And I know it was through hardship. He went home. He came back to his hometown. It was in Georgia. But then you had to have a hardship in order to play immediately. Or if, you can go to Oklahoma and go to Alabama State, Alabama A&M, and play immediately because it's division. At this point, it was Division I, Division I AA, and all of those things. So now it's FCS, FBS. So Russ was one of the first people that I seen do this. And if I'm not mistaken, he ended up graduating from NC State and was a graduate at Wisconsin. And that voided the whole sit out a year thing because he had already fulfilled his education obligation. Okay, let him in. Okay, if y'all not from the South, don't know about it, here, NC State is a pretty damn good school. So get a degree from this pretty damn good school, and then you end up going to Wisconsin and get another degree. This is absolutely writings on the wall. Like, okay, dual sport athlete, dominated in both, just left this school, went to Wisconsin, won a Big Ten championship. All right, let's go ahead and bring him in. So went through the draft, went through all the combine stuff and did all of that. And now here comes Seattle Seahawks and Pete Carroll. And like I said, you got Tavares Jackson on the roster. You got Matt Flynn, who was just drafted and signed, paid money for. A couple of others there on the roster. And I can't recall 100%, but Pete Carroll named this man the starting quarterback before the season started. And I'm saying I don't remember 100% on what part of the, like, was it during preseason games? I don't remember when it was preseason games, if it was like OTAs or something like that, or off-season camp or whatnot. But he named him the starter, and everybody questioning. And all I could think was, yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. He gives you the best chance to win. He's the smartest. He's the youngest. He has that want to be better and dominate, and his personality is groomed for professional sports and being a professional quarterback and leading a group of leaders, leading a group of men. So first year, they have a good record, not too shabby. Second year roll around, they goes to the championship and win it. They go to the Super Bowl and win it. They go to the Super Bowl and win it his second year. Oh, yeah, they had a Legion of Boom, too, my bad. And let's not brush over that. And I'm being sarcastic, but honestly, I'm bringing that up in that way because any other championship team besides I guess you could say Trent Dilfer. I guess the only reason I'm saying Trent Dilfer, and again, I feel different. But the only reason I'm saying Trent Dilfer is because some of his teammates, like, you know, I'm not calling anyone out, but some of the teammates are in the media. I think Shannon Sharp might have said um, him. Okay, yeah, he said it, him being even on the offense. Trent really, even all of them, they really didn't have to. Not saying they didn't have to do much. Everyone is playing their part. They're doing their job. So that's already doing much in itself. But he even said, you know, couldn't just don't lose the game. Don't turn the ball over. And that's like the only time that I've kind of heard people slight a quarterback in the champion, like who've won a Super Bowl. Usually, Super Bowl champions, if you win one, you automatically Hall of Fame bound. You automatically a great. You automatically. It doesn't matter how you want it. It doesn't matter your supporting cast. It doesn't matter if you have Hines Ward, Centennial Holmes, Plaxico Burress, all them different names on your Pittsburgh still an offense, and Palomalus and James Harrisons and Ryan Clarks, and it don't matter if you got all of them. Ben Roethlisberger's are great. I didn't mean to throw Ben under the bus like that. Maybe I did, but his game fit under the bus. No way. Yeah, I threw Ben ass under the bus because it makes me giggle when you're tell me this man made it to the Super Bowl, and I'm only comparing it because that's kind of how the lives were professionally with Ben. Ben made it. I think he made it second or third year, and he went to two. Like how we're going to talk about the next Super Bowl, but he was just talking about this Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl Russ won versus Peyton Manning. Now, I know they don't play quarterback versus quarterback, but you do know any other quarterback duel, even now, they put quarterbacks versus each other. Oh, I don't know how Josh Allen beat Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow got Patrick Mahomes' number. Oh, Ravens can't. Lamar Jackson can't get past Patrick Mahomes. So what reigns true is Russell Wilson beat Peyton Manning, right? No? Oh, the defense beat it. The Legion of Boom did it. Okay. Ben Roethlisberger beat defense? Oh, he did. Okay. Oh, my bad. He's Big Ben, white guy. My bad. Big Ben. So I think people realize that the media, and this is why I'm even starting to do this, because the media, I want to call it lazy, because they understand how we consume. They damn near can just give us whatever, and we'll go with it. It doesn't matter. It really does not matter. If they can give us whatever type of content that they want. So I'm not gonna say they're lazy, but it's low-hanging fruit to glorify a small in stature, under 6 foot, second-year quarterback and say he managed the offense and didn't lose games because he had a dominant defense, but a 6'3", 6'4" white, big quarterback. His defense is a legendary defense, Hall of Famers all throughout his roster. Well, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer because he got the Super Bowls. Big Ben went to Miami University in Ohio. I'm not even trying to be like that. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't matter where you go. It's where you know where you're going. But come on, like just because Russ doesn't have the stature, and in some cases doesn't have the skin or the height, the weight, and all that stuff, he's regarded as a manager or doesn't lose the game, and he didn't really have much to do with. He didn't have that much to do with it. What quarterback has not gotten the flame and the fame and the automatic ballot ticket like to the Hall of Fame after winning a Super Bowl? It's a sad day. You like I said, you beat Peyton Manning your first Super Bowl. Second Super Bowl come around, You have some good stats, right? You have good stats, but and this is actual Super Bowl game. You already got good stats in the game, but for some reason, coach wants you to throw a touchdown so you can win the game, win MVP. That's just speculation and assumption. Now that he threw that pick to Malcolm Butler at that game, now that he did that and they didn't hand the ball off and he didn't change the play and he didn't do this, back-to-back Super Bowl appearance, now he's not Hall of Fame anymore. And it's his fault that they lost, and his defense carried him, and it's a disrespect to the defense for not allowing him to, giving the ball to Marshawn to get MVP and all this stuff. Man, I tell you. And again, he's playing against Tom Brady too. I ain't gonna go conspiracy. I do know that NFL, professional sports, is entertainment. I know Disney runs a good portion of this stuff. Obviously, they got to go out there and perform the ball, but for the most part, if Russell Wilson, fuck that. Russell Wilson playing up against two of the greatest quarterbacks to ever lace them up, and Peyton Manning and Tom Brady in the Super Bowls, you think any of these little kids, besides Patrick Mahomes, you think he's worried about any of these little kids that's playing the game now? And I'm not trying to say it like word, and I'm trying to call them little kids, but he went up against Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Okay, like that's and won them both, honestly. I mean, just hand the ball off. Cool. That's regarded as Hall of Fame and as a great, and put some respect on your name. But what we've seen since he left Seattle is disrespect. They put disrespect on the man's name and allowed I had to sip some tea. I caught myself. I almost said something I shouldn't. I caught myself to sip some tea. Since he left Seattle, it's been disrespectful. Even more wanting to say that, like I said, it's on the Legion of Boom, the way the success that he had. When Russ has always been consistent, he's always been a professional, he's always been a leader. Now, regarding to personal, I mean, most people who have a job or in a professional corporate setting, I don't think they're coworkers, they're friends. Obviously, in sports and intimate settings like locker rooms, things of that nature, they're a little bit more than just your coworkers. It's not just a professional relationship. You're sweating and sometimes blood, and there's some yelling. And so there's a lot of personable conversations, a lot of interpersonal relationships that are happening in locker rooms and on the field within war and battle, because that's ultimately what it is. Ultimate duality amongst man. It's a duel. So being that said, like, we don't take away from what teammates have said because teammates still love Russ. It's just when it comes down to the corny aspect of it, dog ain't ever confused about what he's there to do. A lot of the times, these athletes, some of these, and I ain't even talking about quarterbacks, but some of these guys that think they've arrived, they feel like they can buck the system or go against what's been put in place for them. Russ has respect for the greats and understand that as easy as it might seem that he won a championship because he was riding the coattail of a defense, that's not true. But as easy as it might seem, Russ understand how hard it was and understand how hard it is. And you all have done nothing, the media-wise, that's why we're here, to listen to the shit that we make. Because all the shit we make, all the shit my people make, they take. Now, I ain't gonna hit them with no bars, but for the most part, Russ understands that. Y'all just walked him to the bank these last few years by allowing the narrative. The media did this. The media did this. And it's only a testament to Russell's perseverance and him not wavering. We know the personal life that he's had to that he's created for himself. Like I said, any man to get Ciara and wife her and have kids by, and I don't think none of them are in corner. I don't think. That my goodness. That's 1-2 step. That's right. That's CC. And he got CC. You know how many times we watch the video? Come on, man. We watch the videos. We watch videos, try to do stuff, man. Come on, man. We love CC. And Rush got him. Talking about corner and lane. Hey, you go make you $1 billion by playing football. Or you go get a job from somebody. They fire you, but they still got to pay you your $100 million while you gone. And then you can go get another job and get paid whatever you want. Y'all walked the man to the bank. That's what y'all did immediately. But again, it's fine because the man is the man is Hall of Fame. And not only that, like I said, there's a lot to say to a man when he's taking on the responsibility of another man's child. And I say that's a lot to say about a man that does. It's a real man. My dad did it. Not for me, but my dad, my brother. So for me, he has not once came out and personally said anything publicly to degrade Ciara, baby future or future. There's a backstory to Russell that I know it's not up for me to speak on. Like I said, we're here to show love and admiration. But there's a backstory when his upbringing, and for him, being a father is something that's very important to him, regardless of who the kid is. So, and then with that being said, Future has height on him. Future ain't short, right? Talking about the Vegas. Wilbur. He ain't short. Ciara ain't short. Ciara's athletic. We know that from her dancing and stuff. And Future, I ain't trying to say it like that, but he from the South. Baby Future got good genes. And his stepdaddy is damn Russell Wilson. Best believe, and my partner AC, shout out to AC, he the one who made me realize that. He made me realize it. I'm like, damn, bro, you is right. You're 100% correct. And that's all love is what I'm saying. It's all love at the end of the day. We love you, Russell Wilson. We absolutely love you, Russell. Absolutely love you. I understand it. I understand the greats that we grew up around. There was a standard and a way that you were supposed to act. And you're doing that in this new age. You redefine what it is to be a franchise quarterback and be urban, have a hot wife, and, still be relevant today. And it looks like you're about to walk yourself into another bag, sir. I always knew, like I said, it's slander and from my viewpoint, it was slander. Even with the coach that he was with, Coach Sean Payton. So just wanted to show love to you, dog. I appreciate you, man. You just like me. I remember the first Super Bowl you did do. I was on Facebook. I say, man, if I was gonna be any quarterback in the league today, it'll be Russell Wilson. It would be because that's me, like 5'11", dual sport athlete, doubted for his height, pocket passer, but elusive enough, have agility enough to do this and do that. So I appreciate you, man. Keep showing out. Just one tidbit, a lot of folks don't know. Russell Wilson's the second black quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Since then, we've had a couple more, but it took almost 17. Damn, it's probably like 27 years, 17, 27 years. I got to look at it. Let me see. A couple of decades before Doug Williams and Russell Williams won Super Bowls, black quarterback. That in itself should be, a feat and even just a why and what. So, yeah, man. Rush, keep balling, brother. We mentioned Kyler. We'll get to Kyler. Next, we're going to work with Cam Newton. I think, no, who we got? Next, we're going to Lamar. We're going to keep with the guys that's playing. We're going to go with Lamar. We're going to keep with the guys that's playing. And then we'll get to Cam, old ass, has-been ass. He has-been ass trying to be relevant. But yeah, we're gonna go Lamar next because he having some struggles and just want to show some love to him. But this was great, man. Russell Wilson versus everybody, quarterback trials. I'm your boy Barnes. Well, and remember, be well.